Hey everybody, Jason Easley from Politicus USA and the Daily with Sarah Jones here, both available on Substack. This morning, Trump tried to do another spin job on the Epstein files and make the Epstein files go away. Which, by the way, once again during his meeting with the UK Prime Minister, he once again was asked Epstein questions. This story is not going away for him; it's following everywhere, and he just disastrously made things 1,000 times worse with one of his answers that we're going to take a look at right now. So I know some of you don't like watching Trump straight up solo, so we're going to break it down. We're going to take this apart, just a couple minute clip, and sit with us. And please subscribe to Politicus USA in the Daily if you're not a subscriber. Let's get into it. Trump starts out talking about all the powerful people involved in the Epstein scandal.
In many big people, big successful people, but I just don't. When you talk about files, I just keep going back, and other people too. Even the enemy says this thing is
the enemy. Democrats are not the enemy. And by the way, it's not Democrats. It's his own supporters calling for the release of these files. So his own supporters are also the enemy who want the truth on the Epstein files. The enemy. Democrats are the enemy. That's Trump's mentality.
Not correct. Because if we had it, we would have used it on the guy. It's a bad issue.
Oh, that's a variation. That's a variation of the 2024 argument during the criminal cases where Trump said, "Why, if they had it, why didn't they prosecute me sooner?" This is the same. He's recycling the same BS excuse again.
They say it's a good issue for Trump. Do you know that my poll?
It's not a good issue for Trump. It's a terrible issue for Trump. 89% of the people in the latest CBS YouGov poll want these files released. Depending on, it doesn't matter which poll you look at, over 60% of the American people, sometimes 65 to 68%, think Trump is hiding something or Trump was involved with the Epstein scandal. This is not a good issue.
Poll numbers are up 4.5 points.
No, poll numbers not 4.5 points. That's a lie. That is a total lie. What Trump does is he likes to pick conservative and right-wing pollsters, and he likes to only look at poll numbers among Republicans. His poll numbers are down. His poll numbers, according to the latest, I believe it was Gallup poll, showed his approval rating at 37%, which is only 3 points off of his all-time low in his first term. Trump has an approval rating of 29% with independents. His poll numbers have completely crashed. It's not solely the Epstein story because the Epstein story is about the fourth most important one according to polling, but it's a factor.
Since this ridiculous Epstein stuff, my poll numbers have gone up 4.5 points.
No, they haven't. Because they have not gone up 4.5 points.
Because people don't buy it. Okay.
People do buy it. That's why Donald Trump is still getting asked about it and having to talk about it all the time.
People don't buy it. And he's gone, and we want to focus on trade deals. I want to focus.
Jeffrey Epstein's gone. Please focus on the trade deals where I'm raising your cost for things you're buying for the American people by at least 15% across the board. I'm imposing a 15% tax on you. Let's focus on that instead.
On the deal we just made with the European Union, which is the biggest trade deal in history. It's the biggest deal, I think, in history, not just trade deal.
That's a lie. That's a lie. The tiny trade deal with the EU is not bigger than even the North American Free Trade Agreement. It's not bigger than even Trump's trade agreement. He renegotiated NAFTA in his first term, and it's definitely not bigger than the Marshall Plan. And there have been countless other agreements since World War II that have been larger than this teeny tiny trade deal.
So if they would have had something, they would have used it. Yeah.
Oh, if they would have had something, they would have used it again. No, they wouldn't have. You know why? Because they're not scumbags. They're not people who would go to, let's say, Ukraine and try to shake them down for information on a political opponent during a campaign, which was the source of Trump's first impeachment.
Writing stories about the time he flew him out of Mar-a-Lago. Can you settle that? What was it about? What caused the breach to begin?
That's such old history.
Trump was asked about what caused the split between himself and Jeffrey Epstein.
Very easy to explain, but I don't want to waste your time by explaining it. But
the split with Jeffrey Epstein is old history, easy to explain, but Trump won't explain it. So Trump won't tell us what happened. Trump will go on to tell us what he wants us to
for years, I wouldn't talk to Jeffrey Epstein. I wouldn't talk because he did something that was inappropriate.
What inappropriate thing could Jeffrey Epstein have done? I think we all know what inappropriate thing Jeffrey Epstein did. In fact, very criminal, illegal, morally wrong, and he's hopefully burning in hell for it thing that Jeffrey Epstein did. But what did Trump think that was the inappropriate thing that Jeffrey Epstein did?
He hired help. And I said, don't ever do that again. He stole people that work for me.
The problem Trump has with Jeffrey Epstein isn't that he committed horrible, horrible crimes against underage girls and was a sex trafficker. His problem is that Epstein stole Trump's employees. That's the big crime in Trump's mind.
I said, don't ever do that again. He did it again. And I threw him out of the place, persona non grata. I threw him out.
So let me get this straight. Being a child sex trafficker doesn't get you thrown out of Mar-a-Lago. Stealing Trump's employees? Well, there's a zero tolerance policy for that.
And that was it. I'm glad I did, if you want to know the truth. And by the way, I never went to the island.
Oh, see here, Trump volunteers this himself that he never went to the island. Here's where the big trouble begins.
And Bill Clinton went there supposedly 28 times.
Deflecting to Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton's not the president right now.
I never went to the island, but Larry Summers, I hear, went there. He was the head
Deflecting to Larry Summers.
of Harvard. And many other people that are very big people. Nobody ever talks about them.
Everybody talks about them. That is why his supporters want the Epstein files released. Everybody's talking about them. Even Trump and all of his allies spent years talking about them and promising he was going to release the files. This is absolutely nonsensical. But believe it or not, the big trouble still isn't here. As bad as this answer is, it's about to get a whole lot worse.
I never had the privilege of going to his island.
What? What? The privilege of going to a place where horrible, horrible, horrible crimes were committed. Trump thinks it's a privilege to go to Jeffrey Epstein's island. A privilege. Okay, a normal human being right here would have said, I would have never gone to that horrible place. I feel sorry for every single victim, and I will do everything I can to get justice and make sure the people that are still in prison for this stay in prison. This was wrong. Trump says, I never had the privilege of going there. Jeffrey Epstein's island.
And I did turn it down, but a lot of people in Palm Beach were invited.
Wait, what? How can you never have the privilege of going there if you turned it down? Which is it? Did Trump turn it down? Or did Trump never have the privilege? Because, and I use privilege in Trump's sense of the word, this is by no means a privilege. This is a horrible, horrible place where heinous, horrible things happened. Which is it? This answer makes absolutely no sense, but calling Jeffrey Epstein's island a privilege, boy, oh boy.
His island. In one of my very good moments, I turned it down. I did.
One of his very good moments, he turned it down. This is all apparently a lie. Trump's vehemence in volunteering that he never went to the island kind of makes one think, knowing Trump's behavior, that he might have gone to that island. We have no evidence of that, but usually whatever Trump says, the opposite is true. So, ask yourself, how could Donald Trump step up to the microphone one day and make the Jeffrey Epstein scandal worse? Oh, by calling going to Jeffrey Epstein's island a privilege. Yeah, this story is not going away. Trump is making it worse every single time he opens his mouth. I mean, if you didn't think Trump was acting guilty of something, he clearly is. He's clearly trying to hide something. We don't know what that is. We don't know what he might have done or didn't do. But this is where we stand. Visiting Jeffrey Epstein's island is a privilege, according to Donald Trump. Boy, we're going to have more. I feel there's going to be a lot more to say about this later. Uh, I'm Jason Easley. Please, if you're not a subscriber to Politicus USA or the Daily Resurgence on Substack, it is the very best $6 you're going to spend. You're going to get live chats. You're going to get content for paid subscribers. You're going to get free content. You're going to get videos like this. Please, 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 if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I'll put links for YouTube down in the description below. Thank you. We'll talk soon.